So I want to put to bed the disaffiliation process. A lot of you did not, really didn't know the process at all that we went through, and I'm real quickly go through. Back in about 2018, 19, we started discussing about disaffiliation. It died because of COVID. And then we really ramped up, we really got excited about it in March of 2022. We started that investigation. What do we need to do to start the process? We got shut down at the end of 22 and then had to go through the legal process to be able for us to take a vote in July of 2023. We agreed as a church to move forward with disaffiliation. In October of 2023, the conference, North Georgia Conference, voted to allow us out, and we had a meeting in December of 2023 with the district superintendent, gave him everything that we had to do, that the task force was formed in July to do for the agreement of the disaffiliation agreement, the tasks we did. We met with the DS. He signed our warranty deed. We got our property back. I went in January to Dawson County, and I went to Lumpkin County, filed those warranty deeds, and they are now, this property is now in our possession, physically and legally, and now in the eyes of God, or whatever, it is ours. And now, we're stewards of this property. And in 1 January, we were officially disaffiliated. So that task force that got together and had to do all those things worked well together. So we decided overall we're going to keep that task force together because now we got to move forward. And I hate the word reorganize. We're not going to reorganize this church. This church is well organized. We're just going to go back to the way that during COVID that we were not able to do. So we're going to go back to the way of things. We're going to go back to the committees doing their job and doing their work. We're going to go back to the administrative board making recommendations and bringing it to the church. So, and I'm not going to get deep into that. I'll just kind of tell you how the process is going to go. 2 weeks ago or so, the task force met, and we will meet again, more than likely, February the 19th. Anybody at this church is welcome to come to our meetings. We're going to be meeting on Mondays, February the 19th, and then in those days, we'll continuously meet to continue moving forward till we get this finalized. So if you want to come to a task force meeting, you got ideas that you want us to put together and bring to the church, please come to me. So we're going to organize the way this church operates. How are we going to do business? People hate when I say this, but it is true. We are a business in serving God. We are in a business of making disciples of ourselves to go serve Jesus Christ. And with that, we have to keep the lights on. We have to pay the power bill. We have to pay the LP, the gas bill, the mortgage, not the mortgage, but the insurance. We have payments to make. And people are good about giving us money to be able to make those payments. And we got to be able to show them that we're well organized and that we're good stewards of their money. So that's what this task force is doing, is gathering all those ideas, all those things that we used to do, and then bringing them back together. So we're going to organize the operating procedures of how the church is going to operate. We're going to form those committees. Gary wants to use the task force to start putting those committees. I hate the word committees. I'm going to continue to use them because that's what I guess the Methodist Church wants us to say. Those teams. We're going to form those in the task force. We're going to put the organization of the administrative board together, and we're going to bring it back to the body of the church. And we're going to have the body of the church approve that. This is the way we're going to operate. These are the teams that are going to be together to do those operations, and we're going to get them to approve it. Once they do that approval, those committees and those teams are going to come together, and they're going to start developing budgets. The big thing is develop a budget, put the administrative council together, develop a budget, and then bring back and have, for lack of better terms, Gary might not like this term, but at a church conference, we're going to bring the church together, we're going to bring the budget together, we're going to get all the committees and everything approved in a church conference. And then we're going to go forth and start doing our business. Let the committees do their business. And some of the ideas that we've got is the first 2 weeks of the month. That's going to give the church body, the church members, an opportunity to come to the administrative board, to come to the committees, the teams, and give their recommendations. Hey, I got an idea. I think we ought to do this. Bring it to that committee, the hospitality, the mission committee. Let that committee work it. And then on the second, so wait a minute, let me go back and get my time right. Yeah, on the second, I'm going to say Tuesday. It might be Wednesday. It might be Thursday. But the second week of that month, the administrative board is going to meet, look at all those recommendations, do the business of the church, make those recommendations, and then on the third week of the month, we're going to have an administrative board church-wide meeting and bring those to the church and give the church the opportunity to discuss it, approve it, or whatever. And we're just going to do that process over and over and over every month to get the body of the church involved. Let's see here. But budget, so once we get those committees together, we get everything approved, we've had a church conference, then we're going to go start looking at our operating procedures. we're going to look at the wedding policy. We're going to look at the building use policy. It takes about 15, to go from very cold in that building to go to very warm in that building to exist. It takes about 15% of that tank of gas out there. That's a lot of money. So, that's right. Those things, so what we're saying that is, we just can't, when people are going to start using that building that's not members or whatever, we got to look at how does that look to start, so we're going to look at the building use policies, the cemetery policy, the wedding policy. So, with all that said, I said I wasn't going to talk much. Today, what I want to get out of today, what we want to get out of today is, it is time to serve. He's talking about being disciples. He's talking about serving the church. Today is the day for you all to tell us, how do you want to serve this church? What committee do you want to be on? What team do you want to be on? So what's going to happen is, we're going to hand out a yellow sheet of paper. We got some pens up here. And as Gary goes through all these committees and explains to you what they are, you start writing down. I would like to serve on the hospitality committee. Oh, I like that missions committee. That's me. And when we get to the end, we're going to take those up. But I will say this. If you see one of those committees didn't quite fit what you want to do, write it down on a piece of paper. There might be something, I don't want to serve on these, but I can do this. Write that down. How do you want to serve? So, are we good? Any questions? Here.
Y'all, most of you understand spiritual gifts. In the church, when you do church work, sometimes we think that the mechanic should fix all the stuff in the church because that's what he does for a living, but that may not be his gifting or her gifting. So when you hear about these places, opportunities to serve, sometimes you have a passion, but you're not equipped for it. You know what I'm saying? And that God, the theology of it is that God created you to be a certain way, and that may not be what you do. There's a difference in a job and a vocation. A vocation is what you were created to do. A job is what you do to earn money. Now, if you can contribute because you have expertise in a certain area, we're more than happy to have you serve in that capacity. At least, even if you have counsel and offer some counsel, that would be benefit. But ultimately, through trial and error and over time, we want to get people into where God created them to serve. Evangelism, finance, some people just have a mind for it, they just have stewardship mind. And so, it's not worked out, but it's based on our operating expenditures, I believe.
At the last, the budget was 1.5%.
1.5%, is that top or local?
That's to the conference. When they hold the North
Okay, right,
Conference, our focus will be.
And so it will be less, but we don't have that number right yet. They're still, they're still developing the GMC and how that structure works. And, it's a work in progress, just like this is. Is there any questions?
So is the task force going to come back with these committees like the hospitality committee? Are y'all going to figure out what this church needs so that people will know?
We have that.
Yeah,
yes.
Right, so here's the committees other than the SBPR. Missions, if you want to serve on the missions committee, that's a committee we decided that we should have. Missions. Worship committee. If you want to serve on the worship committee. The hospitality committee. Social media committee. We're still undecided if the Wesley Women or a benevolence committee. Someone passes away, how are we going to handle that or whatever? So, if you say, I want to be on a benevolence committee, I want to be whatever, put that down. We'll work that out. And then
Outreach?
we didn't put outreach now. I mean, we're going to struggle to get this.
Okay.
We can combine outreach with missions or whatever. So those are the.
Didn't we have record keeping on there, someone to keep track?
So that was, I didn't even mention that,
We didn't
Cheryl.
get that far. Okay.
Cheryl is, I don't know how she does what she does as the chief, I call her our chief cat purr. She purrs those cats. But I didn't mention that because Cheryl says, I got it, and she does an excellent job. Now, if somebody wants to be the recording secretary, whatever, put it down. I'm sure she would love to have some help to be the assistant chief cat purr.
What was it, Francine, what was your question?
That was
Oh, what?
About record keeping.
Records.
Membership.
Actually, I believe that would come under trustees. The trustees could assign somebody to keep records and things like that, because that's property of the church, and so I think it falls under trustees.
what about membership role and all that?
That could come under, actually, me and, whoever keeps records. But I think actually the responsibility would come under the property of the church, under the trustees. Now, they could delegate it to someone and give somebody that job, but I think it would fall under the broad title of trustees.
So Cheryl, being the record secretary, whatever you want to call it, she's on every committee because she takes on every committee.
Non-voting.
Yeah, non-voting, but she's on all the committees to record that, and she's that record keeper. She's keeping up now with all of our deeds, all that stuff. So, and again, that's going to be part of that organization we need to change, or how things will work. We're just trying to get people but we're trying to get people in seats, people's behinds in seats.
It'll take a while to figure it out. Sometimes if this is not working,
And if you got in your mind, I would love to serve on this, but I'm not gonna be able to come here once a month to the church. We're gonna have a conference call ability. So if you wanna serve on a committee, I can't come up here and meet every month, that's okay. You can call into a conference call. We're gonna have a conference call available. People who wanna come and meet in person and look eye to eye, they can do that. And we're gonna have a conference call with folks who on that committee who want to join. So we're gonna.
that was part of the deficiency that COVID out. We were not equipped to carry the function of the church without face-to-face, in-house things, and it showed. But now we have technology we can utilize to take care of that.
So to be clear, a couple things. First off, put your name on that yellow sheet of paper and put how you want to serve. And fold that in half, and I'll walk around and pick those up. The other thing,
Or, you can bring passes, and you have time to.
that's us know, either bring it next Sunday, or, because we'll meet that next Monday, or get with Gary, tell Gary, this is how I want to serve.
Ask people that didn't stay for the meeting or left, just, ask them what, what they
Okay,
can do.
If
So-
there's several areas, can you put that down and y'all
Absolutely.
decide who needs to be
If you know what, I want to serve on 2 committees.
Or just the need, if you got 20 people who will be on hospitality, then, you might then go.
Hospitality takes a lot of work.
Yeah, that's-
So, put down.
But anyway, if 2 or 3 people will be on something.
19. So, ask question, what time? The task force is meeting right now, as of now, if it changes, I'll let everybody know, but February the 19th, that is a week from this coming Monday, at 6 o'clock in that room back there.
For now.
For now, that's right, for now, we have to, whatever, we got a board, y'all can see my ugly handwriting. And then the other thing is, let's see, we have test with that, and, what else is it, that's it. All right, let me get y'all out of here, so, let me get that piece of paper, and if anybody wants to, John,
If you know somebody that would be a good fit, recruit them. Get people involved.